Hello, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? I hope y'all are doing good. Me? Let it not be said that I haven't cleared my first savage. Login savage. Alright. So here we are. Back in at Endwalker. Final Fantasy XIV. Hello, everybody. It's been a few days. I meant to put out a video kind of detailing my plans for when I'd be playing Endwalker again. Only trouble is, in my sleep patterns 2-4. Why the hell did I say it like that? Well, let's just say I didn't realize I turned my microphone off onto mute. And so a video I put out yesterday had no sound. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Question, how do I sound? How does the sound mix sound? Everything good? Because I was fiddling with things yesterday trying to get my mic to work and yeah, it was painfully simple. Yeah. Out of the queue. Finally. So got all sorts of drinks today. I got 3 bottles of water with me right now. I have my mug of hot chocolate / coffee here. Is that on your end or is that mine? I'm sorry about that. Got my hot chocolate. I got some alka seltzer that's going to help me with my throat and fight this cold that I've had. And I'm sitting up, so I should be good to go for a little while. Hey, good to see you in here. That's what I hear. I've been hearing things about it, and you've been telling me it. I can't fathom some of the things I've heard about this expansion so far, but I guess we'll find out. That's going to be the fun of it. Where was I going? Oh yeah, I wanted to... Shit. I got some mail. I wonder if that's like the pre-order bonus things I've gotten. Ethernet. Oh yeah, that's right. They did do this. Mikado. Computer. what we have here. 3 new letters have arrived for our favorite assistant. Oh yeah, I'm opening this. Oh, that's right! I brought one of my friends in here and I think she got hooked. Yeah, that is neat. Friend subscription has been retained for 150 days. 5 days just 90 days. Oh, she went ahead and did a 180 subscription, didn't she? Oh yeah, for visual people. Oh yeah, that is definitely nice. That's it. Aetherite pendulum. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, we got to check the little whistle. Okay, so should I just go right back into MSQ? Or should I drag it along a little bit? So some thoughts I've had from the last stream. And I know you all are far enough ahead that I can speak freely here. Primarily idling. What is her relationship to Azem? What is her relationship to Finat? How did we come to be Heidelin's chosen? Because, being of the convocation of 14, it seems like we would have, if we would have been more aligned closely with the god, it would have been Zodiark. And then, did Azem take up cause with Finat and Heidelin? Or did we get sundered and not remember that we didn't? Yeah, those are some questions I have. I don't need answers. Maybe I'll find out down the road. Maybe I won't. Should I go ahead and level up an alt class alongside? What do you think? Like when I do some of these side quests here. I need to take this place in properly. Wasn't there like ships out? Oh, those are islands. Wow. Now that we're here, it's like, wow. I mean, I was here before, but that was at night primarily in game. Only if you don't need levels on your name. Okay. I gotcha. Location. I'll tell you this much. There's a severe lack of healers for some reason. At least on my server, so it's tough getting parties together for the trial. To do your part and level your white mage. guess it could. You do not see Matsuya nearby, but the elevated ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point. Sorry, I just had to see my rotation. But still, pretty much effective. It looks like it is, but that's gonna take some getting used to with the... Oh, look at that thing. It's ticking up on its own. Right? Oh, shoot. Oh yeah, up on the hill, right? You do not see Matsuya for cute. No! Leave me alone! Help! Somebody help! Uh-oh. Matsuya's voice. And it came from the north. Okay. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit, because, I mean, that was the first action I've done on, Endwalker Bard. Oh, I need to look for... I forgot to check, because I accidentally... Aether Compass. I might need to look that up real quick. Because I accidentally deleted it off. Oh, shoot. where did they go? Why are you here? I see you found him in time. You and your friends came to look for me? I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest, to think about what to do about, well, everything. Then those men came. Kidnappers. We'd heard that the Katsadara were being targeted. Surely you have as well? Perhaps it's best if you took refuge in the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know, the ocean all we have. Yeah, Matsuya, he seems rather precious. I see, that's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. A question, if I may. It is our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What canst thou tell us of these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are. But I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Sot. Uh-huh. How's the divinities in the old tongue, it means. But they're not true divinities, they're monstrous imitations that bring only death. Primals. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that 'tis for no other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us? Really? To think I had you peddling fish. Surprise! But to answer your question, yes, of course. We would gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. Aww. Don't worry, me too. I'm a horrible storyteller. So please come to our village. We're good, God-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge. And fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Akyali? Might as well. How many did I get right? 0. Wonderful! Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. Yeah, I got exactly zilch. So, 'tis the simulacra of the Thavnarian gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there could be none now. The kidnapped Hanish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we will be able to save them. Though, indeed, saving them will mean confronting their false gods, like as not. Aye, as you said, we do well to study their religious traditions. Drakyali. have to use this like once every couple of years. Yeah, I failed immediately on the first one. I did a direct approach on the first one, and then I went cautious on the other two. I'm too young to tell. Did shorten up the ones for Heaven Sword to Shadowbringers. Alright. Familiar though I am with the myths and legends of this island, to hear them spoken by heirs to the storied heritage giveth them new life. Sure, I can catch a few fish if I take the boat out, but I've got nowhere to sell them, and even though I do what I can to preserve them, all they end up doing is filling my storehouse instead of filling my pockets. Welcome to Akyali, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much to say here save that. But please make yourself at home. The companions have already begun talking to everyone. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods, but you could do worse than to start with Kanga and old. That's Veda. They're free at the moment as it happens. Kangas are easy enough. You want to know about our gods? What a curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'm happy to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is once you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups. The Manusia, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Murga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together, they are divinities, their forms and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possessed of great insight and experience, and by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives. Yes, I can't jump, just like in real life. A charming little village. Shame about the hideous tower. It is. Welcome to our village, traveler. Is there anything I can help you with? There is that word. Who are you? I am a fisher, and a good one at that. Are you in the biggest catch from the open sea, or something smaller by the shore if you prefer? Your choice. Now, if only I were as skilled with a rudder as I am with a net, some days I find myself so far from shore that I miss the morning rush at the bazaar. What is this place? This is the fishing village of FFXIV. You can think of it as the fisher's Yadlamad, which is perhaps not such a helpful analogy for foreigners. Of course, we've had few merchants coming to either port since that horrible tower appeared, not to mention the kidnappings. Interested in learning about our gods, you say? That's what I like to hear. Pick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Manusia and the Murga, deities who look like men and beasts respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually, seeking the wisdom of the Manusia, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Manusia coveted the might of the Murga, and so they too resolved to trade heads. Wow. Thus were born new gods possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Manusia have worn animal faces and the Murga the limbs of men. Very interesting. Save half a second here. Anytime counts in a race. There you are. Heard you think or two about our gods to trust. While you were off talking to the others, I remembered something that may be of interest. If you could let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once. Green's like, you won't believe this shit, dude. Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll which depicts 3 of our most revered deities. By all means, we should like to see it. I know those 3. Magus sisters. They are Manusia. You heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The center one is the eldest, Cinderuva, a goddess of wisdom. For this, alchemists hold her in the highest. To her right is the middle sister, Cinderuva, a goddess of wealth. She counts many traders among her followers. And on the left is Cinderuva, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts and so is beloved by weavers. Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep in their homes for good fortune. Wow. Nice little spin there on the Magus sisters. In like fashion to the Manusia, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. And what of the Murga, if I may ask? The Murga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you'll find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses a Gaja's head, and he is venerated as the progenitor of the Arkasudara. It's probably said differently, but I just probably need to hear it. And then there are the dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. You worship dragons too? It's said that an ancestor of the satrap, that's the ruler of Gradzatan, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the satrap. Legend holds that if ever the satrap is in need, his dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally. He claims to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. I know, right? The passion you bear for your faith is plain to hear. I am confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I will pray for your success. Right, I believe it's time we sought out Kryle's acquaintance. An alchemist by the name of Udana. That's right. According to Kryle's notes, we're to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. The Great Work. Tell me if that is a coincidence. I know where that Great Work name comes from. OM itself. The Great Work. Matsuya has a shine in his eyes that wasn't there before. Did you say you're going to see Udana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind and understanding. Did I say she's beautiful? No, you didn't. I could stare at her dainty ears and adorable trunk all day. And those eyes, when you meet her, take care you don't drown in them. Aww. He's smitten. The Great Work is situated at a cove to the north. Follow the road north through the nature. Oh yeah, I know. I noticed that the other day. Give me just a second. I'm gonna get me that. I'll take for the moment. Yeah, we just fucking die. Die at death. Yeah, that was something wild. And then there's a warrior of light. Still sick, but must press on because you can't allow a Stinian to spend too much coin. Unmarked? Charlie quests? No, I kinda... Yeah, that is precious, isn't it? It's just as horrible as money is, how good it is. If not worse. Okay, so let's see if I can punch it. Ooh. Oh, this is steep, isn't it? Great work. That's a fun way of putting it. Spent all the money and it's not the only one to get the runs. No, I don't want to change this either, right? How much do you think I would do that? Ah! Oh. I don't know why that spooked me, but it did. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Well, let's see what's going on. Oh, hell. Ooh, rupees. They look pretty fucking dapper, but... They look like they come out a mild case of the death. What in the world? Exactly. In such manner did we find them. What could have befallen these people? If there was a battle, there's a conspicuous lack of blood. Is this true? Casadora. Or Casodara. What did happen here?
What happened here?
You tell me, Estinian.
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
That can't be Black Rose, can it? Because I thought we shut that all down.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
Oh, we have guests.
Care to explain this little mild case of people napping on the ground?
You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see.
Are they just that exhausted? I love that voice, too.
I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow.
Okay.
People of the great work, I come bearing new scales.
Scales? We have new scales?
Oh. Wow.
Yes, my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
Scales?
Oh, happy day. Now I can continue my experiment.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Those are dragon scales.
Crack cocaine? I don't know, they sprung up faster than, well, I dare not say, actually, but... yeah.
Yes, such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
How are you procuring such scales, though?
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit. Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from that accursed tower.
What if we just go in there and kick everybody's ass for you? How about that?
Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people? Of course! You're the one Kryl sent. The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
Oh, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova.
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Well...
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
Thank you, Estinian, for asking the pertinent question.
Curious that it concerns you so. But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
Okay. If I find out otherwise... I think Estinian's thinking the same way, too.
That is well.
You must be quite familiar with Dragonkin, yes?
Nah, it's just a random astrogoon.
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Why, yes, it is.
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it, have you not?
Maybe?
I should like to draw a file or two, so.
Oh, Estinian!
Now, see here. Come along, come along. I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet place to talk?
Yeah, let's please.
As you may have guessed, I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent a request to your Mistress Kryl. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the Great Work, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
Okay, let's go. Oh, that was... That's a nice little icebreaker there. was afraid if it went on any longer, we were going to see Hildebrand himself. Oh, this music here is so fucking good. Soak in. Get a little bit more of this town. Rinse a room. Aren't hamsters the fluffiest, sweetest, most accommodating creatures you've ever seen? You can pet them, you can eat them, you can even use their glands for alchemical processes. Just superlative animals all around. I don't know. It looks a little bit feral to me. Nothing like the stiff and stern one being the comic relief. I often come here to the beach to look out upon the sea. It's most relaxing, well maybe not so much now. Power before us. That's true. Yeah. It's beautiful though. Okay, let's get going. Pasta. I cannot see that sinister-looking spire while I'm working, but it is always there, lurking in the back of my mind. Well? Picked an odd time to be traveling, didn't you? Well, if there's anything you need to know, ask away. Who are you? I am one of the many alchemists who live and work here. I was once a botanist, but found alchemy calling to me every time I came by to deliver ingredients. Though I at first struggled with even the most basic alchemical compounds, I have somehow managed to earn my place at the Great Work. There is always room to improve, both the science and the self, however. What is this place? This is the Great Work, first built by the Daimler family, a line of renowned alchemists. Now people come from across the land to study and practice the science of alchemy in these halls. Each alchemical concoction has a storied history behind it, but we are not simply content to rest on the laurels of the past. We are ever improving and inventing new formulas for the benefit of all. Pay me no mind. I am here that I may be of service, nothing more. Oh, for the days when I enjoyed such fervent adoration. On this occasion, I am glad to entrust the burden of popularity to a Stygian. Oh, come on, you still got a little bit of that old player in you, don't you, Thinker? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just said that shellfish is ideal for those who have suffered blood loss. Yeah, we should have acquired some from Metsia. They say that horrible fiends have been flying out of that tower. I am preparing antidotes for the Radiant Host in the event that some of them might be venomous. Okay. Allow me to thank you for answering our call. Many towers have appeared around the world, and we are grateful that you would assist us with ours. The Crow herself is tied up with another investigation. Marine is an eminently capable substitute, and we will spare no effort to aid you. Yeah, I'm salutes. So if I understand correctly, you seek to make talismans that can nullify cleric emissions. Indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast infiltrations of Aether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, and are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the satrap bade us alchemists to create enchanted talismans. Talismans that will allow our soldiers to venture into the tower even should they lack innate protection. Such a thing be possible? Oh yeah, I mean, we kind of got a lot of lore about the alchemy's side of things. You got Urianger going plain spoken. Admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Good job, Nidana. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of primates. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales proved the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales are highly resistant to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. Thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we've been able to make steady progress with the talisman. Soon we will be ready to conduct a field test, and here's where you and your blessing of light come in. What will you say? Whatever it is, just leave it to me. What exactly is it that you need me to do? Or better than having a blood chart, I suppose. What exactly is it that you need me to do? Nothing complicated, I assure you. We ask only that you serve as an escort. I will explain in greater detail later, but you will be venturing into the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you. With your permission, of course. In that case, Urianger and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful. Seeing as you all work to the point of collapse, I suspect you could do with more hands. It's true. We'd be grateful for any assistance you can provide. If you are ready, in the minutes, put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Work and turn south, there will be a hill to the right. I will meet you at the top after seeing to some preparations. Admittedly, this is a bit confusing to get in and out of. Here. Drunken Deepa. You see a lantern designed in the local style. I hope you didn't have trouble finding this place or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I think Lorraine did just fine. I give you the fruit of our sweat, tears, and many a sleepless night. The Drunken Deepa. A Deepa is a lantern presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficacy. Upon activation, it will move a certain distance before emitting a powerful blast of ether. In lieu of corruption, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe ether sickness. For your test, you will be exposed 4 times. That should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin whenever you're ready. I shall be observing from a safe distance. Speak with the shrunken deep end following. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat, commencing etheric exposure testing. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. Follow the drunken deepest lead and try not to follow behind. Okay. Spreading ether, please stand back. You are struck by a powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Subject has no irrepressible urge to empty their stomach? Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. That's interesting. It's a bouncing, talking lantern. Ether, please stand back. You are struck by another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Subject stomach and bowel integrity holding confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Getting closer and closer to the tower. Guarding ether, please stand back. Guarding ether. Is a no? You were struck by yet another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. The blessing of light appears to be keeping you safe from harm. Subject fortitude rated impressive. No irregularities confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow and brace for final discharge. Admittedly, this is a little bit weird. I mean, you know what? I'm weird, so... What's wrong with weird every now and again? You are struck by the strongest blast of ether yet, but survived completely unscathed. Etheric exposure testing concluded. Please collect and deliver me to the supervising alchemist. Congratulations on retaining your composure and your humors. Okay, tapping into my own field's water supplies now. Yeah. We'll see. I guess we'll see when I get there. Nidana. Ah, you've returned, and not on your knees. A promising sign. But come, let me take the Deepa off your hands. Thank you. I shall replenish its ether for when we test the talisman. So, no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You're feeling perfectly fine? As I know, yeah. Then the strength of your blessing is beyond doubt. There is no risk that the tower will corrupt your ether. I kinda knew that already, but... With this, we can request your aid for the task ahead with easy hearts. Aww, I'm sorry. The 2002... The 2002 error. I feel like the year 2002 is like one gigantic error. Holy shit, I just had a revelation. Oh boy. Never mind. I will spare the details on that one. Shadowed footsteps. Donna regards you with those eyes you could drown in. I was in high school. I was about to graduate high school. You are a capable warrior too, are you not? Would you be amenable to assisting me with another errand? You see, our talisman requires the use of a special ink, but we have exhausted our stores of a key ingredient for it. Spirit weed. Well, the herb grows not far from here, and I would like to go and harvest some. With a recent spate of kidnappings, however, we Arkasodara travel known at our peril. Will you not come with me as my escort? I would compensate you for your troubles, of course. I am in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kajaya's footsteps. It is situated on the road which runs east of the Great Worm. Bet you this takes me over towards the... Sierra, you need to play Final Fantasy X. You really do. Let's just say I played it first in 2005 and I'm still evangelizing for that game. I'm still a fucking simp for that game. Okay, so how do I... Oh. Yeah, trust me, it's well worth it. Yeah, exactly. It's the first game that ever made me cry too. It's the first story-based game I ever played, and it's kind of changed my gaming habits forever. Okay, what I was about to say this. Like, okay, in my opinion, like, I would rate, like, Shadowbringers, like, a 9, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate Shadowbringers, like, a 9.8, and Final Fantasy X, like, a 9.7. But, in the same vein, I still consider Final Fantasy X my most cherished gaming experience ever. Well, I get it. I mean, you know, life happens and everything, you know. I mean, I totally get that. I've been there too, so. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to sit down and play it. I may simply be imagining it, but I feel as though we're being followed. Ah, you're probably not imagining it. Look out, Lorene! The timers for Storm Fight and Constant Fight to coincide with the songs. That's good. What's Shadow Fight? Shadow Fight. I noticed it's not activating like right away. Is there a new? Can only be executed when Shadow Fight ready. Okay. That gave me a fright to think that the moment I ventured outside the safety of the work. Thank the sisters I asked you to come with me. You're alright, I hope. None the worse for wear. Good, good. Let's continue on then. It isn't far now. Just through these pillars and up the rise. Gotcha, that makes sense. That makes sense. Quick knot. With that. Okay. Here we are, Kajaya's footsteps. Kajaya was a great dancer, and those who follow in her, well, you know, they come to this place to train and dedicate their dance to their ancestors. Feels great actually having Bard feel like it works in level 50 content now. Yeah? big benefit of this is that spirit weed grows here in abundance. I will set about harvesting at once, if you would be so good as to stand guard. Kidnappers aren't like to return soon, but better safe than sorry. Oh, they'll return soon, alright. Spirit weed. Yeah, I haven't done any, like, lower level content since Endwalker started. I mean, I didn't mind
Yes,
it.
that would be Radzad Han. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began.
Ooh, I guess that kind of makes sense.
The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing.
What will you say? What can you tell me of the satrap?
Well, he is the most important person in Radzad Han. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the war like Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether.
Huh.
Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjord from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves.
Ah, those damn Hurons. Reapers and sages.
It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people. But when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates a solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Radzad Han to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
Howdy.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios.
Yeah, right. Oh, hi!
I come
Daniel.
all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh, something. Owen? Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail?
Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans.
Well, and Daniel.
And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned, for we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
I, as ever, am my own worst enemy. Should I know that O name? We cannot escape the nature of our souls. I, as ever, am my own worst enemy. The curiosity killed the cat type of thing within Daniel, it seems. I have enough spirit weed to last us a good while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let us head back to the great work, shall we? So what's wrong about more captors coming? Do I want to grab that? Can I grab that particular ether current right now, or a later one? I'm sorry about, oh, there it is. I'll just say that right now. Here we go. Subject was. First the order from the satrap. Now the radiant host requires still more medicine. I don't mean to complain, but we simply don't have enough bodies to meet the need. Does it like to rain here, or is it just me? My thanks again for your assistance. With your help, we're that little bit closer to completing our talisman. This isn't much, but please accept it as a token of my gratitude. A boy's end. Little does Nadana know that she is about to send you on another errand. So I'm probably doing If you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Ah, you're Varsham. You're both back. Excellent. Yeah, Varsham. I have a message for you, Mistress Nadana. It would seem the stores of Giant Skull are running low. What? But when I last I looked, there was still plenty. I suspected months before Urianger told everyone about the tempering cure, Justinian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your parents have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, and far be it from me to complain, but we will need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to attend to this if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you after a lone wolf kidnapper's reserve. Lorene, both though that I am to press another task on you again so soon, I'd ask you to fetch Giant Skull. In case you are not familiar, Giant Skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and ethereal conductivity and its applications in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all, chloride where it is found, aptly named Giant Skull Ground, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. May we impose on you once more? Sure, why not? Impose away. Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zenuia. He'll furnish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that will take you to the outpost nearby. With no apparent comfort, Mr. Sudana. By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I will bring the Hansa to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready. What do we do with the Hansa? Here are Hansa, Marine. If the creatures look familiar, it's because they are close kin to your Eorzean dodos. Well, that makes sense. Hansa have long been kept as livestock in Thavnair, and many a hatchery may be found here. Last, the largest of these is recently raised by monsters from the tower. Wow. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let us first make for the outpost. We set forth at your word. You are ready? Then let us depart. You need only ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead for yours to follow. The Hansa and travel to the outpost. Yes, let's go. New mount. Let us be off. If you haven't ridden dodos before, be warned that they have a wobbling gait. Yeah, I can tell. Rather bumpy. Got good mechanical grip, but they're not the smoothest ride ever. A spectacular formation stretching out over the water is called Kaja. Sword, legend hold by Mendicio against the Murga before the pass out conflict in. Kind of mix that a little bit. So that's your final introduction to the tower. As you can see, it straddles a small island. Sarah, though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. Yeah. That O name, should I know that? Why do I feel like it should? Oh yeah. You know what's sad is that Lorraine is actually my height, so that's kind of... I'm like only like 5'4", so... And here we are, manned by the Radiant Host. This outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. Yes, but it was a long time ago and he distorted it. Well, who should it be but young Varshan? On an errand for the satrap? I am. His Excellency bade me come to collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication. It was a long time ago and he distorted it. There's nothing wrong with that. We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Although we have enjoyed relative peace and calm in these past few days, this remains the front line of battle, no place for children. Your predecessor too often traveled alone. It's been, what, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how the fellow is faring. It goes before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may now be, I am certain he is well. I see. As for myself, I assure you that all I do of my own volition and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, Glad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering. But I still worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? I will, Nabdeen. Thank you. Who might this be? Not Canish by the look of her. No, not quite. Permit me to introduce Lorraine Greycastle of the Eorzean contingent to come to assist in the making of the talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Terrors have appeared all over there too, yes? Tell me, what is the situation like? May I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe. I guess we could. Excellent idea. Given the unprecedented nature of the threat, some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you can share. You too. Bring Varshan the latest report, and answer any questions he may have. This is the fellow that carried you hither. Its breathing is somewhat ragged, perhaps due to its inexperience as a mount. Oh, there you go. Radiant Peacekeeper. The last monster that came out of the tower laid waste to the hatchery, slaughtering many naked handsome. Poor creatures didn't deserve it. All appears quiet with the tower at the moment. I dare say the soldiers won't mind if you approach them. It occurs to me I have yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the Satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve peace in the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with the heretofore unknown threats such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we struggle to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on the 2 occasions they came in force, we had to pay a heavy price. What of the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls for outside aid to be answered. I've heard about you. A visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telephaloi? We know that they're the ones behind the tower and that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it that they want? This we don't understand. What? They want to die and take everyone with them? What madness is this? This is Sparta. I'm horrible. Horrible, I tell you. Well, you can bet that we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have. Like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers. Then... Teyu. And again, I know I'm probably butchering these names, so I'm sorry. But, yeah. You should know about the tower. To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zot, as folk have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Isle of Nurnar. We're safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Valerian's like, we're not. Our struggles are not unique, then our hopes still lie with the talismans. You must keep the monsters contained until they're ready. My thanks not only for the information, but for accompanying Prashant times. While he's lies beyond his years, he's still a child, and we couldn't bear to see him come to harm. Those demented fools. If they want to go to hell, they can bloody well arrange their own passage and leave the rest of us out of it. I agree. Let themselves go to hell. They can tell us what it's like. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Razat Han ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, the stream dried up when trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst the dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But come, get best see to your original errand. As mine will keep me here a while longer, however, I'm afraid I cannot guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamsa, you will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. Why do I have a feeling they're setting up death flags for this little kid right here? Lest you have forgotten, to get to the Giant's Belt grounds, you need but follow the road east. The Hamsa should deliver you there quite quickly. The Hamsa appears to want you to return home and reluctantly offers you its back. Should you become separated from your steeds, speak with the Radiant Beastkeeper at the Hamsa hatchery to mount it again. Actually, let me make sure there isn't any ether currents here. And there are, so 76 yards to the east. it's up here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, take care. I'll see you. Oh, there it is. So that must be that's done. Have a good night. I've had 20 ounces to the northeast. Poor thing. I'm breaking its back, dude. I might well wait one over here. No sooner do you arrive at your destination than the Hampstead dashes off. We have to get to work nice and early here. After all, the sun's rays are far too strong at midday to get anything done. Although that doesn't stop us being made to work till dusk anyway. Of course, once we've dug deep enough, I bet it'll be all lovely and cold down there. What if there isn't something we could do to speed things up? Something tells me you're not here to buy giant skull. Hey, what is this? Who are you? I'm a stonemason here at the quarry, just like my father before me. It's dangerous work, but I take pride in providing Fafnir with the quality giant skull we're paying for. This place, as you like is not gathered, this is where we quarry giant skull. It's sturdy and conducts ether like no other stone, so it makes for fine armor and weapons. I direct you to the Hamsa hatchery for livelier sightseeing fare, but those nightmares from the tower destroy them. It's only a matter of time before the same happens here, like it's not. Why, this is indeed the giant skull crowns, and I am Senua. Is there something you require? Giant skull for the alchemists, you say? Of course they shall have it. Though they labor tirelessly to deal with the tower, and 'tis the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Senua, tipping the scale, Senua has a sack of giant skull for you. Here you are, a sack of the purest giant skull. Here, we always set some aside for our alchemist friends. When you deliver it, let good folk of the great work know that we're grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask. 80 yums to the northeast. Ah, I see it right there. Go ahead there. If we excavate exclusively from the bottom, the whole quarry's like to collapse, see? That's why I'm planning to mine what I can from the top, but I need to build up the courage to climb this ladder first. Same. Hard same. Tuning with the Aether current allows you to... I should probably sync with all this stuff on. Welcome back, Marine. Do I hope you have the giant skull? Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype, one that should be capable of passing the most rigorous tests. When it is ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can. Yes, ma'am. This music is beautiful. The beach.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well.
Yep.
You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed.
That they are.
I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
We'll see, I guess.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat.
Yep.
Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we?
This is true.
They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, those are the stakes laid bare.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea.
Yes, that it is. It's utterly unforgivable. An orgy of pain and suffering. That's one way of putting it. That's one mild way of putting it.
And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts?
This goes into some deep discussion. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us could say they have not entertained similar thoughts? Forgive me this moment of frankness. I have not wished harm upon anybody else. On myself, I cannot say the same. Now, I say that because I am in a much better place than I was. But I strongly suspect this is just the nature of the human condition at times. I'm hardly alone in such thoughts and feelings. I know many of my friends have had such many thoughts and such thoughts and feelings. You know, I guess it's one thing to allow yourself to fall into that pit of despair yourself, but it's another thing entirely to bring others down with you. And that's something, even in my worst thoughts, I never wished on anybody else. I mean, if anything, I have suffered such thoughts, hoping nobody else would ever feel what I have felt, which I know, and that is a naive wish. But yeah, it's one thing to suffer yourself, but to wish others would suffer with you is unforgivable.
There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
Yep.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear.
True. Very true.
Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
This is true. Very true. Survival be damned.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
Clearing senses.
What is it? What did you see? Fandaniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
How would he not know?
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last!
Oh,
Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments! We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
that it is. That it is.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field.
Well, understandable.
It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Of course. Of course. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, though.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
Where's a flag when you need it?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Yes, sir.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
punctual so far. Don't worry about us. Think only of your own tasks. Have a right here. Come. Concerned about a cause. Do you have a moment, adventurer? One of my colleagues has gone missing. She said she was going to Kajaya's for to get a bit of exercise, but she hasn't come back. I go search for her, but it's almost time for a shift change, and I can't very well leave the kiln to operate itself. Could you find her and fetch her for me? Yes, I could. You're too kind. She should be in Kajaya's footsteps. Keep an eye out for a hero with black hair. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. She was out the last time you were by, and she was devastated that she missed out on the chance to meet one of the students of Beldesium. Satrap has granted you use of this boat. May it serve you well. This is a rather finer boat than I had expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is to board and be on our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it does not come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of a kind, and perhaps our only hope for toppling the tower. For all our sakes, do not hesitate to do what must be done, whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be out.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could.
Oh, that is spooky as hell. What's that?
So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be.
Are you sure about that?
Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets.
I guess so, because that would probably be the way we would use the trust system here, is if they had that equipped.
What?
Oh! Maybe not. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Ah!
Uh-oh. It's not good. No bueno. Holy hell, that is spooky. That is spooky. More of the Rotunda. Oh my gosh. Oh no. No. Marine, do something quick!
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Fuck you, Fandango.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
Come on, Marine! Oh no! Some of the Donna's trapping me now.
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
The similarities are striking.
Wait. Does that not look similar to the glyph of Heidelin striking down Zodiac? And you see that with it's 8 Asian fight. Alright, how are we going to get Nadana out of here?
My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Patrons of old? Or what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm in no mood to coddle you.
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian.
Alright.
I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking.
I was wondering if he was on the convocation. Theoretically speaking.
Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Van Daniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am.
Okay, fair enough, because we are the former Azem, and I'm not sure we felt exactly like that was who we are, but I could see the parallels there. I mean, I don't know if we've been totally imbued with Azem's knowledge and memories. Actually, no, we haven't yet, if at all.
How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded.
Because you're not actually Asa here.
I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allagan ruin or two. Yes?
Yes, I have.
Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
Alright, Echo.
At your service.
I'm on! Holy shit!
Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met. Day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. How ever do you conceive of such delightful experiments?
Ugh. More Crystal Tower goodness? Really? Really? Also, give me a ruling. Is that a losing my shit thing? I need a ruling from you too.
That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing.
The fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. This is as this law, isn't it?
Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
I guess we have to define losing my shit.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation. Slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend. Our first and greatest emperor.
That wasn't Doga Nune in the background, was that?
And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest.
That's right.
An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards. Always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Etherochemical research.
Heed me, Armon.
Emperor Zandi.
No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war. And so I have come to claim you.
You know as well as I that... And it's Salk.
For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
Wow.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
So that is Amon. Now, where'd you go?
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals.
Why do I get the feeling that them being alive is trapped there is actually worse than death? Maybe it's like a Tesla type of vibe, but...
If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in these mine spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Xenos, right? Nadana. About that. Anusia preserve. Just when we had succeeded in making the talisman. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work. Well, stakes just went up. Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? Yeah, about that. So it was from Daniel after all. Damn that bastard. I'm sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. You must tread warily lest we endanger Nadana and the other captives. Okay, give me a few minutes. We'll take a little break. Little reset. Maybe replenish some coffee and hot chocolate. I'll be back in a few, and we'll continue onward. about that. I'm back. I am back. So, Tancred. The satrap of Radzatan. Tancred is wearing a grim expression. Crowning moments of wholesome. First, we must inform everyone of the situation. Madonna's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you are the one to explain. Kind of knew that one was coming. Madonna. Can you answer me this? Though Madonna is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? She is. Then we must make boarding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Madonna approved of peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who were taken might be saved. Aye, as alchemists, this is how we will help win the fight. My friends, the satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of the boarding scales with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Donna noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Radzatan for an audience with His Excellency? I guess we might as well. We should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be to the benefit of all. When it is settled, please come to the gates east of the giant skull of grounds, and I will show you into the city. Kind of the wrong quest, didn't I? Oh well. What do you mean I need to get back to work? Oh, have I really been on the lunch? Where'd it go? I thought I was gonna better look at the stage before I left. I'm sure you're busy. Can you assist me for a moment? Thank you. I'll inspect the wall so you can make sure the stage is in order. Cloth wavers exquisitely in the wind. No problems here. Some of the paint is worn off. You could use a fresh coat. Hey, we're doing the work for you, aren't we? Oh, there we go. There's a small hole in the floor. That can't be good. Sorry about that, I thought I could ignore it. Problems? The floor and the paint? I'll have to fix them the next time I come by. Thank you for checking. You know, it seems odd that I've never met you until now. You wouldn't happen to be the adventurer they sent by the students of that's significant. You are? Here I was delegating you menial tasks. If I had known, I always admire travelers like you. You see, I was studying to be a dancer under Mistress Mishmira. I wanted to see the realm as I traveled for performances. Maybe I still can't, not as a dancer, of course, but as an alchemist. Oh, but we should hurry back to the great work. I don't want to cause any more trouble than I already have. They're really going to lay in thick to the traveler theme. No more air flight, aren't they? Sorry I went the wrong way. Ow, that's not spanky. Like, a lot more hurtful than last I remember. Ah, that is so pretty. Pretty and spooky. All in one picture. Sorry, I'm trying to create a chat just for my FC. I'll worry about it later. Last I visited, the city was burning with life. I expect the tower has dampened the mood somewhat. Here in Eorzea, I'll share the desire to deliver the captives. Thus united, I pray we may join in common cause with the Satrap. Oh shoot. Due to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert. The strict restrictions are in place for entry. So yeah, we granted special permission and I ask that we remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Favnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rads at Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things.
That's going to be important later, isn't it?
Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun.
South.
The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets.
Satan.
But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Hopefully. I can be a bit daft when it comes to lore and stuff like that, though, unfortunately. This is so pretty.
Here we are. Megaduta.
Megaduta.
It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
We get it.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, Satrap of Radzat-Han. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
But Nidana, she was taken.
A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others.
I mean, she's right, and she was willing to put herself up to that risk.
I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not.
Why?
This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Ooh.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
He's not the real, He's not the real...
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Ooh! Vitra?
I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard Sorma's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat-Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura. Adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radzat-Han.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
A charade, yes. and one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end.
This is true. I mean, look at what happened to Ratatoska. And, you know, what that set in motion.
I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who joined me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
I like how Vitra, his dragon tongue is speaking, with us.
Your eye. It was taken.
Oh! Is that the other
'Tis
eye?
here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my will.
Oh, holy shit.
Ah. That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
Wow.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered. Estinian warm blood.
Well, yes. Wow.
From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another. Yet did neither one of us bare his fangs.
Because we are more than the past that we came from. They are more than the past that they came from.
That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Rad's Anan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me.
With the warrior of light standing right in front of you.
Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Padalthan and Cartanau, I am told.
That we did.
'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions, and should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk.
Oh, no.
I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Charlian is in order.
Alrighty. Okay, so what's up?
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Radzat-Han, I see no reason to refuse. Nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. That was... wow. So that's Vitra's nature. That is so cool. MJ? I wish you'd encounter one of the first brood in such a circumstance. If our course of action is decided, let's not tarry. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Charlian and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the Aether right here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoyed Nausea. So let me get back and turn in the... There you are. I heard you helped my colleague with her stage inspection while you were out. It's greatly appreciated. She really looks up to your kind, you know. She lost her chance to become a dancer due to an unfortunate injury. Now she's working to heal the sick and injured as an alchemist. She was so happy to meet you, as am I. Here, a token of our thanks. Charlotte, right? I probably need to get some more Aetherite tickets. where do I get, what? The dialogue? That's just music so good. That's a Yoshi Soken! You magnificent man. For all you give this game and for all you've gone through, you are a treasure. An absolute treasure. Aetherite tickets. Oh, I'll show you here in a second. Prepared us for our foray into the tower. What we may accomplish within its twisted hollows remaineth to be seen. Archisotra languish in Telephoroid chains doth forewarn us of the nature of our foe, which is the gods of Thavnir who will be summoned to thwart us. Conflict between Nidhogg and I is in the past, and though they were brothers, it has no bearing on my view of Vritra. Above all else, he is a leader of men, not an enemy. He would hardly dedicate his life to this endeavor if he bore our kind any ill will. I think we've read these already. It'll be with your grand company. And then I think the hunts. No, it's the hunts, the Centurio. After the city was a pleasant distraction, I feel more than ready now to tackle the challenges of the day. Okay, yeah, I remember this. Oh, shit. Just as I was getting used to balmy Thavnir, we're back in chilly Charlian. Take care not to catch your death. Your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, your investigation here remains. But when that's over, we can take stock of all the developments and discoveries. Leveled up for the first time in 2.5 years. I returned by way of Kite's experimental aetherite, and I must say it was far less taxing than our first attempt. And apparently we need only ask if we wish to use it again. Now, I'm not terribly eager to repeat the experience, but if you're willing to test your ethereal fortitude for the sake of technological advancement, then I don't mind to stop. Hitting the books. Grail is intent on discovering the reason behind this form's inexplicable behavior. An unsettling change has come over Charlian, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the form's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Charlian's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search could proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, and you will find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenon, Charlene's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that, for the archives of Numenon extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the great Google Library pale in comparison to Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. So that's what we saw Garhati in the trailer. Any citizen of Charlene is free to enter and peruse its shelves, well, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Jola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alice and Alpinu will help me continue my search through the stacks to open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Charlenean history or foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of things we're looking for. Let's be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they found some promising tomes. Happy reading. Yep, there we go. Dang, how far does it go down? Floor down there. Quick zoom on the relevant subjects. Oh, we're looking for a specific volume. Only Archons may check out forbidden tomes. But if there is anything else you require, simply say the word. Brightly colored book. The title on the spine reads The Story of Charlene. Read the book. Long ago, on an island in the Northern Sea, there lived a broken man by the name of Nuncruft. Nuncruft was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperial realm. Arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nuncruft's crew hauled them aboard his ark, but the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nuncruft wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop the Albathia's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, Newcrest gathered to him and his crew and his grateful passengers, and abandoned the Ark to those reddened beings. They journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. The settlement prospered and grew, and in time it became the city of Charlene we live in to this day. The title on the spine reads Worlds of Old, the Colony. Read the book? Yes, of course. This is what I'm here for. Many years ago, on the banks of Thaliak in the Dravanian hinterlands, a Charlian colony once thrived. This settlement was originally established as a near outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in this renowned wisdom of the Charlians. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Charlian colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Charlian, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. Response? Some Charlian inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as important. Following the Great Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. Yep, I remember Idleshire. The following chapters go on to introduce most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain additional information on the Forum or cover the history of the Charlian motherland in greater detail. But the Prophet Sesk is currently experiencing an unusually high volume of requests. Please stand by until this issue is resolved. Anyhow. I'm just here looking for some tomes I need to reference from the pieces. Luckily for me, if the tome exists, it almost certainly is somewhere no one knows. The faded title on the spine reads Stewards of Wisdom. Read the book. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Nunkruf, founder of Charlian, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. Charlians took to heart the words of their savior, and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought walls and sewers. wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth and coin. And the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind and gold would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlian would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. Interesting. A lot of back lore. I like this. Well, one manual. This might not be what I need, but I'll read it nonetheless. The title and spine reads Forever 20 Summers. Read the book. My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I too once engaged in such foolish practices. But one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra: I am forever 20 summers young. The number itself is unimportant. You could be 19, or 23, or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Mindful, healthy living will extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research. Another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue. In the pages that follow, we will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from a biological, ethereological, and arcane viewpoint. Yeah, this book is on the wrong subject. Search works. Contain details of the form or mention the history of Shark. Still, I mean, more exposition. We covered this. This probably isn't going to be one here either, but still. The title on the spine reads An Introduction to the Heavens. Read the book. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but of the vastness beyond, or the sun and the twin-suns tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space, yet amongst the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars is firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why all stars believed to revolve around the sun. Those technologists of Alec who came closest to understanding the laws which govern the starry abyss, the sun and the sea. It was they who launched down the moon and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? Probably. What if I were to tell you that eternal constellations were arranged perfectly in the distant past? Their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly, but measurably as we journey into the future. Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? Yeah, try this one here. Another bound tome. The title of the spine reads The Voice of a Growing City. Read the book. Of course. In the years which followed the founding of Charlian, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. A larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the Sixth Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Charlian would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the form as we know it today conceived and created. place. Grand doesn't even have a place up in Vermont that we drive by whenever we go up there. I am rather in the middle of something, so if you wouldn't mind leading me to my research, thank you. Best welcome in Grand I know. Alright, let's go. Sorry, were you waiting long? I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alpha Noah Cryo should be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mentioned the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate, plenty of comfortable places to read, and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. Oh, but it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. Seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Charlian, we were not to be allowed across the threshold. Oh, I want to give him a piece of my damn mind. A harsh measure, indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the Forum will lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day. I'm certain of it. We'll mend it with my damn fists. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlian, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Islabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvos, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Alligans founded a city in the fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mikote to serve as laborers. Oh, dang Alligans. Alligans are right bastards, aren't they? Earthquakes of the Fourth Emerald Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign. And when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. The ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allagan technology from being misused. That's right. Is Corvos under Garlean? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amanus. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus, Nael and Darnus. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allegan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allegan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Alleg. As the last child born with the Allegan Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldesion, who had me registered as a Charlian citizen. Oh, so that sounds okay. Never even considered. Forgive me. It was an unkind question. Even Tancred was taken in by Archon Louisoix, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Charlians than you might think. And yet, regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn. There is sufficient perspicacity. We outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. That's exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. There you go, nation building again there, Graha. Hear, hear. Another good reason to get to the bottom of the foreign stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Yeah, just a little minor trifle. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books 3. More company should be arriving any moment now. What else do I know of Corvus? Precious little, I'm afraid. I've not returned since Master Galuf first brought me here. I could tell you that Corvus rebels still seek to slip the yoke of their imperial masters, though the fighting is far less fierce than it once was. Well, they have carpets. Flying carpets. Legends are quite extraordinary. There are other spreaders seeking to overhaul old history books, so I thought I'd try my luck with more recent events. If I can find anything to better inform the forum's baffling behavior. Returned with our selections. Although I must say the pickings are quite slim indeed, Mistress Cryle has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the umbral calamities, as well as articles written by the prominent forum members. Perhaps our knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details. Yeah, they were fun. My thanks. Now where to begin? First things first. That was spooky as hell, the scenery change, right? As the dialogue begins. First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? A complete destabilization of creation legends. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible faction, meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Y'shtola survives that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. These are odd acts of note which heralded their approach to the final days. They say it began with a caning sound from the land itself. Yes, the Amarachines spoke of it, didn't they? We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness. But it seems that each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by this ominous noise. Eventually it resounded all across the star, and not even Amarach was spared. So the ground was crying out, you say? To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive. Probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of Numenon's mammoths, and ask after any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? Summon Zodiac. Yes, with Elizabeth serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiac brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set right. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprouted anew, and it was these fleshing souls they intended to render unto Zodiac, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Yep. That the trade, a quote-unquote trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by them. And that's probably a good missing point, is that they were shades of the dead loved ones. You kind of see with Lakshmi, you know, what happens when you kind of summon someone back from the dead. Or might have, had Fanat and her followers not manifested their opposition in the form of idling. This is true. Yeah. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telephoroid truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen that what they're doing with all those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by the unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola. At this time we began studying these research papers. Wait at the designated location once more. Just look at these. After this, I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break and grab a bite to eat. I'll probably end stream And then when I'm ready, I'll get back on and do another stream. What else do I know of Corvos? Precious little, I am afraid. I've not returned since Master Gallop just called me. Can you tell you that Corvos? Oh. That's right. Let's see. Trial. It really is comforting to have at least dedicated assistants on hand. Right then, enough chatting, more reading. Of course. And video. Foreign members are also researchers or professors. They know aught of the final days, and that knowledge might surface in their writing. That is my hope. I'm the last, am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But it wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Garund oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Kubel Library. It's even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. This is true. It stands to reason, then, that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fauchenot with knowledge of the Telephoi and their machinations, you scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. You seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us. Which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. Like, dang it. Irene hates reading. She wants to travel. You leave her for what feels like an age as Joel's research assistant. Your help, but I think I can manage the rest without your assistance. If I were you, I'd steal a few quiet moments for myself. Oh dear, you look exhausted. What about your studies? Were you able to find any books on all the subjects I mentioned? And the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a mimic that the Marfrey steps will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest that you take a well-deserved rest. Might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Okay. I'm gonna stop for right now. I will come back on in about 30 minutes to an hour. I just want to eat something. Chill out, relax, digest what I've played through. And I'll be back and probably tackle another set of quests here. So, for everybody who joined me, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all